I wanted to see this because I don't know how the fuck they ended up doing this, but apparently the United States military, whenever they were capturing Maduro, literally started using, like, psychic weapons.
Did the
Anybody who's ever heard of Havana syndrome will probably already know quite a bit about this.
U.S. military deploy a secret sonic weapon during the raid in Venezuela? According to witnesses on the ground, the operation began with an unexplained radar blackout.
Just imagine that, bro. Like, the entire fucking power for the country just goes out.
A massive drone swarm and the sounds of helicopters.
Oh my god.
Despite being outnumbered 5-1, the small U.S. Special Forces team faced less resistance. Why? Reports indicate soldiers suffered from vertigo, vomiting.
So they went in there 5-to-1 odds, and they didn't even lose a single guy. Holy fuck.
Imagine just fucking walking past the enemy as they're vomiting and shitting themselves. Putting up no resistance whatsoever.
Fuck.
And internal bleeding.
Oh my god.
Military analysts believe this was a soft kill operation.
Like, even if the US soldiers didn't have the cutting edge fucking equipment and outfits, like, you'd still feel like a badass anyway. You might as well fucking be naked walking past them.
Likely utilizing a high-power microwave device. More detail all in the video ahead.
What the fuck?
Based on witness testimony, here's how the event likely occurred. Venezuelan soldiers were on standard guard duty when their radar systems suddenly shut down without warning.
Everything just shut down.
Immediately after the blackout, a massive drone swarm appeared over the facility, followed by 8 helicopters equipped with unidentified.
Venezuela, they didn't have top-of-the-line Chinese equipment, but they did have some mid-range stuff that's pretty dang good.
Technology.
But useless against our offensive tech.
I don't even know what it is.
A 20-man team of Delta and Special Forces operatives deployed from the helicopters.
20 guys.
The encounter took a mysterious turn when the defending force of 100 soldiers reportedly froze, leaving them unable to compete with a smaller elite team. Witnesses noted that the Delta Force operatives fired with impossible precision, estimating a rate of fire near 300 rounds per minute per soldier.
I'd imagine a lot of ricochet from the tall buildings. They probably miscounted the actual shots being fired. Misappropriated some ricochets.
What the fuck?
Echoes as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It is theorized that Black Hawk helicopters were used to deploy this capability, utilizing disc-shaped radar attachments to launch a directed beam at the opposing troops.
Jesus.
They reported internal trauma.
Here it is.
They suffered immediate vestibular incapacitation, meaning a total loss of balance and paralysis. Some even reported bleeding from the nose and vomiting blood, symptoms consistent with internal hemorrhaging.
Oh my god.
While the Pentagon hasn't officially disclosed the specific hardware, military experts...
It's probably an LRAD, right? I mean, that's what it's got to be.
Similar, but it's like, you know, like turned up to 11.
Call this a soft kill system. So how does it actually work? To understand...
The LRAD is used mostly on protesters, as a non-lethal.
The weapon, you first have to look at what it did. The most likely candidate for a weapon that creates that kind of internal pressure without external sound is a high-power microwave device.
Just microwave the shit out of it.
It relies on...
Yeah, that's why I call it an MLAV instead of an LWAV.
Something called the fray effect.
Oh my god.
The weapon, probably carried by a Chinook or a Black Hawk helicopter, fires a focused beam of pulsed microwave energy, not sound waves, that passes right through the skull. These beams are absorbed by the water in the brain tissue and the...
They're literally microwaving your brain.
...fluid in the inner ear.
Jesus Christ.
This energy causes a minuscule rapid heating of the tissue, less than 1 degree Celsius. But that tiny sudden expansion generates a pressure wave inside the skull. The consequence? The target hears a sound, clicks, buzzing, or a roar that originates inside their own head, bypassing the eardrums entirely.
Oh my god.
If the frequency is tuned to the resonance of the inner ear, it violently disrupts the body's balance, causing immediate vertigo. At higher power levels, that rapid tissue expansion can rupture capillaries, leading to the reported nosebleeds and internal trauma. There's another possibility.
This is like, I mean, you think about how fucking insane that is? Oh my god.
Yeah, if targeted for long enough, you will die.
God.
There's no avoiding it.
A weaponized infrasonic pulse emitter. Instead
Some
of a
crazy
continuous
shit,
beam,
yeah.
this device would fire high-intensity slugs of low-frequency air pressure below 20 hertz.
Oh.
These waves
Okay, this is the L. What he was talking about. The
travel through the body to
LF.
match the resonant frequency of internal organs like the stomach or lungs. High-intensity infrasound can actually cause cavitation, the formation of bubbles in bodily fluids. When those bubbles collapse, they create tiny shock waves that damage tissue. The target feels an intense vibration in their gut, leading to severe nausea and effectively paralyzing.
Do you remember all those guys with like their fucking rinky-dink cars that have like metal walls on the side of it with like them wearing a ski mask and an AK-47? Like, this is straight up the difference between, like, they went into this and they treated these guys like it was like an uncontacted tribe with like fucking bows and arrows.
That's a fair comparison. Pretty much was that.
It's not even like they didn't even have a chance.
Them with pain and sickness.
Sticks and stones versus AK-47s, essentially.
Tactically, the reports
Holy
suggest U.S.
fuck.
forces use this technology as the ultimate force multiplier. The result was that the hundreds of
diff,
Venezuelan
yeah.
guards mentioned in the reports weren't fought in a traditional gun battle. They were incapacitated, sick, dizzy, and bleeding, long before U.S. troops made contact. This allowed a small team of
And
approximately...
you've got to keep in mind, too, that this is the thing that they're willing to show. Think about the types of technology and the things that they have that they're not even willing to show even for a mission like this. I bet this is probably like the maybe B tier, but probably C tier technology they have. Like they have space. Yeah, no, they literally
It probably is A tier, but I think Asmon's kind of forgetting that there's also an S tier.
drop down to Space Marines and they use psychers for fucking backup support. They actually got invaded by the Imperium.
The 20 operators
Oh
to
my
walk
God.
virtually unopposed through a much larger force. But that's not it. The U.S. military has another secret weapon.
This is 20 years
Analysts
ago.
called it the Iron
The
Dome.
difference is like, so I talked to a guy that I know that knows about this, and he said that they've had LRAD, but all of the different technology like this that they've had, they never had it portable. So I think the technology that I think was unexpected here was that they could use this in a portable helicopter that's able to be moved around.
This is the first example of it I've seen from an aerial perspective.
The U.S. military has another secret
That's what he
weapon.
told me. He was in the military.
Analysts called it the Iron Dome of the Caribbean.
Yep.
They said the airspace over Venezuela was impenetrable, locked
Really?
down by the Russian-made S-300 anti-system,
Really? Wow. How'd that go?
a beast capable of swatting aircraft out of the sky from 150 miles away.
Uh-huh.
But in the dark
But-
night, the myth of invincibility didn't just crack. It evaporated. The opening salvo didn't come from pilots, but from physics. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford, stationed off the coast, unleashed a barrage of electronic warfare so dense it didn't just jam the Venezuelan radar screens, it burned them white.
So it just turned him off. Well, that'll work.
The S-300 operators at Captain Manuel Rios Air Base were
turn 'em
blind
off.
before they ever saw the missiles
Do you
come.
believe this fan fiction? I do, because it worked. I do. I think it worked. I saw it. Yep.
The first kinetic strikes were surgical from a destroyer. Two Tomahawk cruise missiles slammed into the S-300V at radar arrays. In an instant, the eyes of the Venezuelan
So they
defense
just blew
network
it
were
up.
turned into twisted, red-hot scrap metal. Precision-guided bombs walked down the flight line. One by one, the Su-30s and the aging X-16s parked beside them were engulfed in fireballs.
God
7
damn.
jets were erased before their pilots could even reach the ladders.
What the fuck?
It wasn't a dogfight, it was an execution. But the final blow was psychological. At 4:20, the roar of jet engines shook the windows of downtown Caracas. The target was Fortuna, the headquarters of the Ministry of Defense and the nerve center of the regime's
So yeah, you have to keep in mind, like, this guy, he was at the main military base. It's not like they just got this guy at his, like, residential home. No, they literally went into the main area with the military, and they just got him out of that.
military command. The strikes
Yeah.
didn't level the city, they decapitated the leadership's ability to communicate. As smoke billowed from the ministry buildings, the message was clear to every commander on the ground: you are alone. You are alone, and that no help is coming. But all of this is just a deception. The main target is none other than the president. We finally have the declassified timeline of how U.S. forces breached the heart of Caracas and extracted Nicolas Maduro.
Extracted him?
Let's start with step one.
Yeah.
The setup. This didn't happen overnight. For months, the U.S. had been tightening a naval quarantine around Venezuela. The U.S. Gerald R. Ford carrier
This is what I'm curious about, if they're going to do this with Iran, too. Because, like, they have the same thing that they're building up around Iran. And so, like, are they trying to get all the fucking ships over there so they can just basically do this same thing? It's like, I mean, it would probably suck. I mean, because you think about it from their perspective, right? I mean, you know that the ship is going to be there in 6 days. You saw what happened whenever the ship got to Venezuela. And it's sailing over to your country right now. I'd be stressed out.
Group and the U.S. Iwo
I'd be
Jima
really stressed out.
amphibious-ready group were parked off the coast. The pretext was clear. The U.S. designated the Venezuelan government a narco-terrorist state, specifically targeting the drugs lords. But while the Navy squeezed the coast, intelligence assets were tracking one man. They waited for a specific window, a moment where Maduro was stationary and vulnerable. Step 2, the strike. It began at exactly 2 in the morning Venezuelan Standard Time. High above, several F-35 stealth fighters punch a hole through the enemy lines, destabilizing their anti-air defenses. Like these Russian S-300 missiles located all over the strategic high-value target.
That's a badass.
With the skies clear, the path opens
that.
for Delta Force helicopters to fly straight towards the mission. Here comes the deception as the helicopters flew. The jets started firing with more strikes as it hit Fort Tuna, the main military base and command center, and La Carlota Air Base, destabilizing.
I feel like it's also kind of like, I mean, how do they think that they have a chance if we were able to just like turn off their military? Like, there wasn't even a fight. Nothing, there was not even a conflict. They couldn't even do anything. It was just over.
Venezuelan air support. Reports from the ground describe widespread explosions and a sudden communications blackout. The chaos wasn't the goal, it was the cover. But how did the raid happen? We have to look at step 3. Under the cover of darkness and chaos, the Tier 1 operators went to work. But what is the exact unit tasked with the mission? It is the Delta Force, one of the most elite secretive special forces units in the U.S. military. Witnesses in Caracas reported low-flying aircraft skimming the rooftops, flying well below radar coverage. The team breached a secure compound believed to be a safe house within the massive Fort Tuna complex.
Well, they knew where he was. They knew where he was the entire time. It was never even a question.
Resistance from the Venezuelan Presidential Guard was swift but ultimately futile, as the helicopters lay cover fire. The operators moved with surgical speed, landing on multiple points. But how exactly the capture and extraction happened? For this, let's look at step 4. Specialized helicopters hovered over the objective to insert the assault team. While dozens of attack helicopters laid down suppression fire, the Delta Special Forces descended and started the search for the high-value targets. How did they find him?
They just got his ass.
Simple. The CIA had planted spy inside Nicolas Maduro close circle.
They literally just had a guy there. They're like, yeah, he's here. It's impressive as fuck. Yeah, of course.
While back in the U.S., Delta Force built an exact replica of his safe house, rehearsing the raid until they could do it blindfolded. While
they already knew his entire fucking house. Yeah, it's like, imagine, like, these guys,
It's the Columbine shooting all over again, but on a governmental scale.
built a replica of your fucking house. It's a cool video, yeah.
While operators breached the room so fast, his security could not even react to the situation as the sound of flash grenades disoriented the security guard. Using blowtorch, they caught him before he could even lock all the doors. Maduro's shock and awe froze him as Delta Force reached the compound. Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were physically secured. This wasn't a negotiation. They were detained and immediately moved to the extraction point. These aircraft are capable of performing urban extractions from buildings and refueling in midair.
What the fuck?
We make original 4K 3D animation with a small team of animators. So please support us by subscribing and dropping in a comment for more exclusive engineering animations made just for you guys.
Oh my God.
Back here in my
Well,
free state.
there it is. Do you think they knew his jerking off hours? I bet they did. I bet they knew everything about this guy. They knew all of the stuff that happened. I mean, especially the fact that they had these fucking sonic weapons that were just basically turning off people's brains. Like, I don't know how any of these other guys, like, I think it was interesting, right? Is that the president of Colombia, after he had that call with Donald Trump, he posted the photo of like the Colombian national animal with like a bald eagle, and that was it. Yeah, no more of that shit. I'll link you guys the video. That was pretty fucking insane. But yeah, I didn't even really know exactly. Yeah, just switch him off. Yeah, bro, like he was done.